Hello everyone, I am Parikshit Saikia and welcome to another very exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. As I was mentioning in my last video, the month of December we are gonna solve questions from MAH CET exam, right? MAH CET, as I was referring to in my last video, the Maharashtra CET. This is one of the most important management entrance examinations for the simple reason that some of the top 10 colleges in the country for MBA are a part of the Maharashtra CET entrance examination. So in case the CAT did not go well for you, don't worry. The top 10 colleges are still up for grab, and hence it is essential that you apply and register for the Maharashtra CET, and more importantly, get accustomed to the difficulty level and the type of questions that are asked in Maharashtra CET. So as always, the first thing that I'm going to tell you is give me 5 seconds to ensure that I'm streaming live before we get started with today's session. Okay, I think we are streaming live and we are good to start. A small notification at the start, a non-CAT test series, right? A complete non-CAT test series starts from today on Unacademy. You will have mock tests on exams like the ZAT, NMAT, IIFT, SNAP, TISNET, Maharashtra CET, and almost everything. So please make sure that you enroll for the same. It will be held twice a week, every Wednesday and Saturday. And you know the best part? After the test, there will be a same day complete analysis. Now, when you go to the Unacademy website, you'd have to unlock this free plan. And if you wish to enroll this free plan, you can use this code Parikshit Saikia. You can use this unlocking code, okay? And that will help you to unlock any free plan on Unacademy. So they will be asking you a code. Just enter the code Parikshit Saikia and you will be unlocking a whole bunch of exciting test series for absolutely free. Let's get started with today's session. Yes, I see a lot of comments. Target JVIMS. Definitely. Remember, JVIMS is one of the top colleges and definitely should be in your target. Okay, in today's session, right, in today's QA session, we are going to talk about algebra. So every morning 10:30 a.m. live on YouTube, we are going to solve questions which are important from the perspective of the Maharashtra CET. We'll have the same difficulty level, okay, as the CET examination, and also important questions and previous year questions will be solved live for the next 30 days. In today's class, we are going to learn about how to solve questions on modulus. How to solve questions on modulus. Okay. Now remember, in Maharashtra CET, how many questions are there in the Quants section? There are 50 questions. Remember, 50 questions in Quants section. And a total of how many questions are there in Maharashtra CET? There is a total time limit of 150 minutes and total questions is 200 questions. So as you see, it is not only about knowledge, okay, but it is also about accuracy, knowledge, plus most importantly speed. So very, very important that you know all the shortcuts while coming to solve questions. So shortcuts are very, very, very important. Okay, let me show you some never seen before techniques to solve modulus questions. Okay, now you must be knowing modulus, but you know what? I don't want you to follow your method because what I'm going to show you today is going to be the fastest and probably you have never seen before. Okay, now you know modulus. What is modulus? I want you to visualize modulus as distance. Simple. What is modulus? Modulus is distance. Distance from what? From the critical point. Distance from critical point. So remember this English meaning. What is modulus? Modulus is distance from the critical point. What is the meaning of critical point? Critical point is that point which makes the modulus 0. Critical point is that point which makes the modulus 0. As an example, if I tell you, okay, mod of x plus 3 is equal to 10. X plus 3 is equal to 10. So what is the critical point? It is that point which will make this modulus 0. So what value should you put such that this modulus becomes 0? Minus 3, because minus 3 plus 3 will make it 0. So you just plot the point. Just plot the critical point. Okay. Now remember modulus definition. Distance from critical point. So it is either gonna be 10 units this side and 10 units on the left. 10 units on the right and 10 units on the left. Can you count? Minus 3 plus 10. Remember the distance has to be 10. So how much is this? Minus 3 plus 10. How much will this come out to be? 7. So 1 point is 7. Similarly, on the other side, remember the distance got to be 10. Which distance are we talking about? This distance got to be 10. So minus 3 minus 10. How much will you get? Minus 13. So these are your two answers. As simple as this. What are your two answers? Minus 13 and 7. Minus 13 and 7. It is as easy as this. If you understand this, you are going to solve any complicated sum that appears in your exam. Okay, don't worry, we are going to solve a lot more questions. Okay, so I think you understood this. Let's take more examples so that you are very comfortable. Let's take up the questions. Let's take up these questions. Okay, let's take up the first question. What is the first question? The first question is x plus 5 equals to 15. Okay, now have a look. Now have a look. What does modulus? It is the distance from the critical point. What is the critical point? It is that point which makes the modulus 0. So what value should you put? Minus 5. Yes, minus 5 plus 5 will make this 0. So I have to plot the critical point. So plot the critical point, minus 5. Then what is modulus? It is the distance from this point. Distance on the right as well as distance on the left. So can you calculate the distance? On the right, it should be 15 units. On the right, it should be 15 units. And on the left also, it should be 15 units. So obviously, if you do on the right, it will be plus 15. On the left, it will be minus 15. So minus 5 plus 15 is how much? Plus 10. Similarly, minus 5 minus 15 is how much? Minus 20. So your answers are minus 20, 10. Minus 20, 10. That's your answer for the first one. Do you get it? See, if you are able to solve it this way, trust me, any complicated sum that arises can be solved very easily. So remember, modulus is the distance from the critical point. So the first one, you already got it. Let's look at the second one. Let's look at the second one. Okay. Let's look at the second question now. Chalo, second one. What is the second one? Again, for practice. The first two are very easy. Actual questions start from question number 3 onwards. Distance from the critical point. What is the critical point? It is that point which makes the modulus 0. So you see, the modulus, at what point will it become 0? 9. Because if you put x is 9, 9 minus 9 is 0. So just plot the critical point, 9. Now you know what? It is the distance from this point. So it is either gonna be plus 17, on my right is always plus, and on my left is always minus. Yes? So can you write it down? 9 plus 17 is how much? 9 plus 17, answer is 26. And 9 minus 17 is how much? 9 minus 17 is minus 8. So your answers are minus 8, 26. These are your two answers. Minus 8, 26. Yes? So these are very, very easy questions, provided you understand the basic concept. Minus 8, 26. Let's look at the third one. Let's look at the third one. I hope you are solving along with me so that you don't face a problem later on. Third one. X plus 3 plus x plus 8 is equal to 11. So how do you solve this? It is the distance from the critical point. But you know what? There are two critical points here. If you see, first critical point is minus 3. Because if you put minus 3, the modulus becomes 0. Minus 3 plus 3 will become 0. So one critical point is definitely minus 3. Similarly, another critical point is minus 8. Why? Because if you put minus 8 plus 8 will make this 0. So you can put here minus 8. So you plot the critical points. Yes. Now you look at the difference. What is the distance between the 2 points? What is the distance between these 2 points? The distance between these 2 points is minus 8 minus or minus 3, right? So how much is the distance? 11. Minus 8 minus 8 minus 8 minus or minus 3 is 5. Can you see this? The distance is okay. I think this was just a small cap, this is minus 8, right? This is minus 8. So let's make this correction. Otherwise the question is, yes, let's make this correction. Yes. So x plus 3 and x minus 8. So one critical point is positive 8 and one critical point is minus 3. So you see the difference. The distance between these 2 points is how much? 11. Is 11. Yes? Now think about it. What is modulus? It is the distance from the critical point. Distance. So I want you to visualize it in a very simple way. Let's imagine that there are 2 fellows. One person is at point A and let's imagine another person is at point B. Okay. So the distance covered by the 2 human beings should be 11 units. Should be 11 units. Let's imagine that B is at home. B is at home. When I say home, what do I mean? It is stationary. Okay. If B is stationary and A alone is traveling, can you see? A has to travel 11 meters to reach B. Perfect. Remember what I need? The distance covered should be 11. The total distance covered should be 11. So you can assume that B is at home. So if B is at home, you know what? If A has to meet B, it will come to B's house. It will come to B's house and will cover a distance of total 11. It will cover a distance of total 11. So one answer definitely will be 8. Similarly, you know what? Similarly, you can assume the next thing. You know what? Assume that A is stationary. If A is stationary, so I'm looking at this point. You know what? The point which I have highlighted. Then what? B is coming to A's house. B is coming to A's house. If B has to come to A's house, you know what? The total distance that B covers is this much. Can you see? This much. What is this distance? 11. And you need 11 only. You need 11 only. So even this point satisfies. So another answer will be minus 3. Can you look at the other points? Can you look at the other points? Take any point. Let's say I take a point out here. Let's say I take a point out here. Some point. Let's say 0. Okay. The 2 human beings need to travel to the point 0. So how much distance does A cover? Minus 3 to plus 0. How much distance? 3. Similarly, how much distance does B cover? How much distance does B cover? Can you see? From B's house to 0, B will be covering 8 units. 8 units. So total is again 3 plus 8, 11. Oh, I think I got the logic. It means all points from minus 3 to plus 8 will satisfy this inequality. All points from minus 3 to plus 8 will satisfy this inequality. Can you verify? Can you verify? Let's verify, okay? So once you verify, you'll understand. X minus 3 plus x minus 8 is equal to 11. Yes? Now think about it. Now think about it. Take any point. Let's say you put x is equal to 0. Let's say you put x is equal to 0. What will happen? Minus 3 plus or minus 8. Remember, modulus of mod of minus 3 is plus 3. So how much is it? 3 plus 8, 11. Perfect. 0 satisfies. Can you take another point? Let's say you take the point x is equal to minus 3. If you take minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Yes. So even if you take minus 3, what will happen? Minus 3 plus 3 is gonna satisfy this. Is gonna satisfy this. Is gonna satisfy this. Can you see this? Check. Please check this. How much will you get? Minus 3 plus 3. First point is 0. Next point is minus 3 minus 8. 11. Can you see? 11. And this also satisfies. So any point from minus 3 to plus 8 will satisfy this. So you can easily verify your answers. But you know what? How I want you to think. I want you to think modulus as a time and distance question. Time and distance question. Remember, you are doing the first question. So it might be 80% clear. But we solve another 2 more questions and then it becomes crystal clear. Okay. And then it becomes crystal clear. Okay. Let's take another point. Another question. Okay. So answer for this is all points from minus 3 to plus 8 will satisfy. So answer is any point from -3 to 8 will satisfy this. Okay, number 3. So don't worry if you have not understood the complete thing, it's perfect because we are going to solve another 2-3 questions and then you are going to be 100% crystal clear. Let's take another one. Let's take another question. Okay. Okay. 4th one. What is modulus? Remember, it's the distance from the critical point. Let's start. Okay, number 4. X plus 5 plus x minus 4 is equal to 8. Right? First, what is the first step? Plot the critical points. Plot the critical points. What are critical points? It is that point which makes the modulus 0. So can you substitute? First modulus. At what point will it become 0? If you put x is -5, it will become 0. -5 plus 5 is 0. Similarly, second modulus. What should you put? If you put x is equal to 4, x is equal to 4, it will be satisfied, right? 4 minus 4 is 0. Perfect. You have plot the critical points. Remember, so how I want you to visualize? I want you to visualize this as 2 human beings. There is one human being out here, let's say, whose name is A, and there is another human being out here whose name is B. What is the distance between the 2 human beings? -5 to 4. -5 to 4. What is the distance? The distance is 9 units. The distance is 9 units. Now think about it. Now think about it. You need all those points which satisfies the condition that the distance is 8. That the distance is 8. You know what? The 2 human beings should meet, and they should meet after covering 8 meters or 8 units. Remember, that's the question. They should meet after covering 8 units. Okay. Now let's start. Think about it. Let's say A is at home, or jo B hai na, B, he comes to A's house. Remember, I need 8 units. Okay. My equation is the distance traveled by the 2 human beings to meet should be 8. Now let's say I meet at A's house. If I meet at A's house, it means B has to come to A's house. Will you agree? For both the human beings to meet at A's house, B has to come to A's house. But you know what? If B comes to A's house, minimum 9 units have to be covered. Minimum 9 units have to be covered. Otherwise, B cannot reach A's house. Oh, it means the answer cannot be A's house. The answer cannot be A's house. Remember, I need those points where the distance covered is 8. So here the distance covered is 9. So not possible. This scenario is not possible. The 2 human beings cannot be meeting at A's house. Cannot be meeting at A's house. So let's look at the other scenario. Let's look at another scenario. Let's say the 2 human beings are meeting at B's house. Okay. If you meet at B's house, it is very simple. It means B ghar pe baitha hua hai. B is sitting at his house. A is coming to B's house. A, you know what, is coming to B's house. Perfect. But if A has to come to B's house, A has to cover minimum 9 units. Minimum 9 units. Question is saying, nah, this is not the case. Give me points where the distance is actually 8 units. Actually 8 units. So again, B's house is not possible. B's house is not possible. Okay, let's look at other alternatives. Let's say they are meeting somewhere in between. Let's say they are meeting at this point. Some random number, okay? Let's say this is 0. This is 0.0 on the number line, okay? Think about it. If the 2 human beings have to meet at 0, think about it. A has to cover this distance. Will you agree? A has to cover this distance. So how much distance A has to cover? 5. From -5. Remember, A is coming from his house. So -5 to 0. How much? 5 units. Similarly, what about B? Think about B. You know what? If they have to meet at 0, B also has to come here. So how much distance B has to come? Remember, B is at his house. To come to 0, he has to cover 4 units. 4. So total, how much distance did they cover? Total distance covered by the 2 human beings is 5 plus 4, 9. Oh, again not possible. Why? The question is saying, give me points. Tell me those points where the total distance for the 2 human beings to meet is 8. So 9 is also not possible. This is not possible. Can I take some other scenario? And check? Can I take some other scenario and check? Let's say they are meeting at this point. Let's say they are meeting at this point. Okay, the two human beings meet at, let's say, 3. Number line at x is equal to 3. If that is the case, you know what? To meet at 3, A has to cover this distance. How much is the distance? From -5 to 3. How much is the distance? 8. 8. And if they are meeting at this point at 3, you know what? B also has to cover this distance. How much is it? 1. Again, if you see, 8 plus 1 is how much? 9. Not possible. Not possible. Oh, it means the two human beings can never meet by just covering 8 units. By just covering 8 units. So answer is no solution. Answer is no solution. Got it? So it's a very, very wonderful, and I would say an amazing and a super amazing method of solving caselets on solving questions on modulus. Okay. So I think please practice this. We are going to start do it again tomorrow. I'm going to do it again tomorrow with some more examples so that it becomes crystal clear. So another case, more questions we will do. Don't worry. So up till 4 we have done. I have solved you 4 questions. Remember, Maharashtra CET, the questions are easy. It is just the speed. So modulus questions are very frequent in Maharashtra CET. And this is how you are going to do it if you need to be really fast. Remember, you have hardly solved 2 questions or 3 questions. So for you at this point, it might not be very easy. But if you want to practice more questions, okay? If you want to practice more questions, what do? You go to the Unacademy platform, okay? You go to the Unacademy platform, okay? And you see my name. My name is Parikshit Saikia. My name is Parikshit Saikia. You filter on special classes. You filter, go to my profile and filter on special classes. Okay. So when you do so, you see some free classes I have taken on modulus. So just open those modulus classes. I think I have taken around 2 hours of free classes. Just go to those free classes and view those 2 hours of free classes. You are gonna master this topic like anything. And when you want to go to the free classes, right? They will ask you for a code to unlock the free classes. So please use this code Parikshit Saikia. So go to the Unacademy platform, use this code Parikshit Saikia, a free plan. Okay, so a free plan will be unlocked, and once you unlock, so go to my profile, okay, and you'll filter on modulus. You'll see I have taken a few classes on modulus. So there you will get more questions to practice, around 20-25 more questions to practice, and there is a complete video solution that I have done. So you are going to be crystal clear with this approach. This is a super awesome method. Anything else that you wish to ask before we break? So remember, every morning 10:30 a.m. for 20 minutes, I am going to show you a lot of shortcuts on how to deal with maths questions, because at the end of the day, in Maharashtra CET, the per limit, okay, the time per question is less than 60 seconds. So you are going to be applying a lot of shortcuts and a lot of tricks. So I think that's it for today. That's it for today. Thank you so much. And in case if you have liked the video, in case you think you have learned something new today, please hit the like button, because that will motivate me to make more and more such videos. Thank you so much, and until tomorrow morning 10:30 a.m. it's a goodbye from my side, and stay safe. Thank you.